Hello, good evening.
Hi, Stephen. Good evening too.
Okay, so thank you for your message. Are you ready for our class today?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so yesterday we didn't have class, right? Every Tuesday?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because I remember, actually, I prefer to have a course on Thursday, but I remember the time has already been occupied by another student, so finally I have give up.
Yeah. So Tuesday, yeah, right. Tuesday, my available time is only
Yeah, but
5 p.m.
in 5 p.m. I still working, so
You're still at work at that time?
yeah. We don't have we work from nine a.m. to 6 p.m.
Until 6 p.m. Oh, so that's already about nighttime. 6.
Yeah, but
So is it
actually
every day until 6 p.m.?
yeah, but we have lunch time and actually when I'm working, even though sometimes I want to take a rest, I go ramble to different street or I don't stay in the office. Nobody care me. We are really free. We are really free. If you could if you could deliver your result on schedule, nobody care you what are you doing when you are in the office. But you don't. I think you should another maybe to um, uh if you don't drink coffee in the public office that everybody can see you are very you don't have work, well, I think that's okay.
Nice. Does it mean that your company is open 24 hours?
Yes, if you want to go to our office, you just we have an ID card. You can come here. And actually, if you don't want to fishing, if you have some job and you want to go home to a company with your family, that's okay. But maybe you can remote log in our company's server and to your personal computer. So actually, you can take your job to home. But
Mm,
my suggestion is not well because my previous company, I I still actually because when I'm new engineer, so I found I too many things I don't know how to do it, so I still take the job, go home and do it. But I think that's not a good thing because I lose many opportunity to learn another
mm,
thing.
mm.
So finally,
Yeah.
even I leave my previous company, I still don't have a strong skill. Couldn't later another company to hire me. So I
Mm-hmm.
my conclusion is yes, you shouldn't work hard, but you still keep your time to learn new things because the technology trend faster and then change
Yes.
very faster. Yeah,
Right. So you need to be updated, right? You cannot just stick or do the same thing over again
yeah,
because technology is changing every time or evolving every time. So you have to keep updated.
yeah. Like my previous company, our team we service the it's called a service NAS. This NAS is very expensive. It maybe take us $30 one NAS that cost you $30. $30
Mm.
is very expensive. But he tried to make sure his reliability and he could have a lot of storage and he can run the virtual machine. But just after 1 year, so because now we have a Google Cloud Computing and Amazon also do that. So our
Mm.
company's product nobody want to buy it because there
Yeah.
are another big company, they give you same service, and you just it's like you don't need to buy their machine. You just has a contract maybe 1 year or 2 year, and in this year he could make sure your storage or your product or your virtual machine work correctly. So you don't need to
Mhm.
pay a lot of money to buy an expensive machine. Yeah,
Right, because time runs fast, right? So if you buy expensive ones, you might need to spend more money if it evolves.
yeah, and the machine sometimes maybe has some problem you need to fix, right? But if you have a
Yeah.
contract to like to Google or Amazon, you don't care it because Google or Amazon they will make sure your product is correct. You don't,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I think that's why our. So when I remember when I leave my original team after 1 year, our team is separated. Our team member is separated because this product is not popular in it's not popular in the world. So they try to do another product.
I see, I see. So it's just like it's not anymore up to date.
Yeah,
So it's left behind, right? Some people will not like that product anymore because there's something new that's evolving.
yeah.
Okay, right, right. So yeah, so in conclusion, don't buy technologies or things in the most expensive ones because as time passes by, the price of it or the value of it decreases because technology evolves very fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
agree
what are
with you.
those
Yeah.
yeah, so what are those things that you always remember to just don't spend too much money because it evolves immediately? Do you apply that in buying a cell phone?
Oh, smartphone. Actually, yeah, I agree with you very much because the smartphone's price is I think is follow the Moore's rule. Do you ever hear the Moore's rule?
No, what is that word again?
Moore's rule. This mean if today if you take 100, you can buy the smartphone, and the next year you can
Mm.
cost just $50 to buy the same smartphone. So every year the price will become half price.
Mm.
Or
Yeah.
you take a 100 to buy to buy the smartphone next year, but his performance is twice than previous smartphone. It's a
Mm.
Moore's rule.
What is the spelling of that word?
Maybe my pronunciation is not correct. Let me check the let me check the word.
Okay.
But maybe this rule will more maybe. Oh, okay. Let me type it on the Skype. Maybe it's more clear.
Okay.
More slow. Am I correct? More slow.
Ah, more slow. Okay, I've heard about that, but I did not really understand what it means. So, is it the one that you explained? Like next year, there's a difference between the speed.
Yeah,
Is that right? Is
yeah,
that the meaning of it?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, his original definition is
Mm-hmm.
about the chip because the cheaper quality will become very well. That mean we call it wafer in the same area or in the same range. The next year he could put a more chip in the same area. That mean your device can become small, and your device becomes small. That mean you can save more money because the uh, the the TSMC they use the size or the area to define their price. So if your
Mm.
range is more small, that means you can spend this money to do the chip.
Ah, I see. So the price of the item depends on the how big it is.
Yeah. So if your chip is
Really?
more small, more small is more
Smaller.
is cheaper. Yeah, is cheaper. Yeah.
Oh, I see, I see. Okay. So it must be very expensive if you have the bigger one,
Yeah, but
bigger
yeah,
size.
but actually, they have yeah, the bigger one is how should I say? Is it according to in the same okay, I give you an example. If in the if today in the same area we can put a 100 cheaper, we can put a 100 cheaper. We have to spend $100. But
Mm.
next year maybe we still spend $100 in the same area, but we can put it 20 hundred cheaper. Doesn't mean become
Mm.
twice, but because your cheaper become twice, so you can do twice. You can do twice
Double.
smartphone. Yeah, you can do double product. So you
Mm.
actually the price become cheaper. Yeah, for your smartphone because
Right.
your smartphone just need the cost $50. You can do your smartphone.
I
Yeah.
see, I see. How many years do you change your phone?
Oh, uh, uh, actually, I prefer 2 year or 3 year, but last year I changed the smartphone 3 months, 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, but not
Why three
I don't
months?
want because I am very forgettable people. My first smartphone I when I want to wash my bed, I forgot to I leave my smartphone on the bed. So when I take my bed to the wash washer, my smartphone be washed. So even he is Sony smartphone, he's still dead. And if
Yeah.
your smartphone touch water, they don't the company they don't protect your smartphone because you have illegal their contract. Yeah.
So did it become wet for too long?
Hmm? Just you mean this smartphone I just use 3 months Sony, and the
Okay.
next smartphone is I remember is is come from the Foxconn, but it's still also 3 months because my smartphone when I riding the motorcycle, the smartphone suddenly fall down, and
Mm.
his face just touch the road, so the screen is
It
broken
break?
up. Yeah, screen is broken. Actually, it still can use it because, but I just buy the smartphone just 2 weeks, so I feel very safe. But I remember after about 3 months or 4 months, the smartphone also dead. So yeah, I changed it. I
I see.
remember last year I changed three smartphone, and each smartphone their um, their interval is not rather than 4 months. So finally, I buy the Nokia smartphone, and luckily this smartphone still alive, maybe one 1.2 years.
Quite long,
Yeah, so I
right?
don't spend too much money to buy smartphone because actually previously I think if I buy the expensive smartphone, I will treasure it, and the smartphone couldn't alive for a long time. But the
Mm.
the my example proof is for me it's impossible. So I just buy the cheaper smartphone.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I don't buy a new one if my phone is still okay. So I don't want to spend money because, for example, if you buy a new one today,
Yeah,
like this year, so next year there's another one coming.
yeah,
So you might think again that you're gonna buy a new one. So you might spend a lot of money.
yeah, and the
And
smart yeah,
yeah, and do you know that if your phone gets wet by
so,
water,
yeah.
you can actually put that in your rice. Not rice
Oh,
that is already cooked,
I know, I
but the
know.
one that is not cooked yet.
Use rice to. to absorb the water, like right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
actually, it's funny thing because I take my smartphone to the let me check the water. Uh, I I I think that's my problem. I
Uh-huh.
take the smartphone to the oven.
Oh, what? Oh, so it did it melt? What happened?
So the chipper I think is burned out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Right. It will burn.
yeah, even I'm an engineer, I do so stupid thing because I think maybe just just 30 minutes. I think it's okay, but when I take my smartphone, oh, it's so hot. I think the temperature is over 670 70s. So yes, so the smartphone is
Yeah.
destroyed. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the main reason why it did not work anymore.
yeah.
Because you put that in the oven. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's not
and if you and actually I still try to take my smartphone to recover to original company, but they don't.
right.
They tell me if you want to fix my smartphone, I need to pay the money more than my my previous my previous price, so I give up.
Yeah, so instead of paying much for fixing it, you have to buy a new one, right? Because you will spend more money for someone who will fix it. The amount of money that you're gonna pay, it's better for you to use it to buy a new one, right?
Actually, yeah, and the smartphone price is become lower maybe next year.
Cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper
Next
quickly.
year?
I think just next year. Like I remember my friend he buy the Pixel 3, and maybe just in this year the Pixel 3 its price is become maybe 75% or 50%. I'm not sure, but it become very cheaper. So he's very regretted. He buy
You
the
regret.
regret yeah, buy the pistol too quickly.
Yeah, so the money is not worth it, right?
Yeah, but
If you want a new
if
one.
you buy the Apple, I think the Apple price is he can keep it for a long time. I'm not sure reason. Maybe a lot of Apple fans they like Apple, but if you buy the Android smartphone, their price become cheaper quickly.
Right, that's right. Yeah. What phone do you have right now?
Mm,
Samsung?
no, now I use the Nokia.
Nokia.
Yeah, previously
Smartphone.
I used the uh, Sony, Oppo, Huawei, and um, yeah. Actually I prefer buy the smartphone come from China because their price
Mm,
is become
cheaper.
cheaper. Yeah,
Yeah, right. But then you just need to make sure that the quality is also good, right?
yeah,
Because maybe you can buy cheap, but it will only last for about 2 months or 3 months, so the money is not worth it for that phone.
I think Android is a very I think it's called nature or nature is a
Mm.
very mature system. So yes, I think many company couldn't develop a smartphone. I think don't need too much engineer. If you just want to sell smartphone because our
Mm.
company we make a chip right and like the
Mm.
Oppo or the Oppo or the Sony, they will low they because they have a low end smartphone, and if they want to save money, they will buy our solution. So we'll
Mm.
sell our smartphone cheap to them, and they just change the logo or
Mm.
update their software, and they can quickly sell it. So they don't need to spend too much time or money on developer.
Right, right. So that is why you have those customers. So, cell phone is very like a good example of technology that is fast evolving, right?
Yeah, evolving.
Maybe
Yeah.
every year a new one comes out, and you have to wait or you have to wait for another 2 years or a year for another one to come out.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, Pincus, um, all right, so okay, so I just check our material here, and we are in page 14, isn't it?
Yeah, page 14. What
All
was the
right,
situation?
correct. Yes. So before we proceed on that, just a review. What do you remember about our previous lesson? What did we talk about?
I remember the special sentence is called fly by the seat of your pants.
What does it mean?
Oh, fly by the seat of your pants. That means to do something difficultly, but you don't prepare it.
You don't prepare for it.
Yeah, without the
Or,
necessary skill or
mhm,
experience.
yeah, so if you're not good in that thing, so there's no need for you to fly by the seat of your pants. You only have to do, of course, the things that you can do, right?
Yeah, I think it's very
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah, exciting. So it's very ironic. For example, you are an engineer, but you offered to do the work of a welder. You know what a welder is? Like
Uh,
building a house.
oh yeah,
Um, welder machine.
yeah,
Okay, so it's very, very far. So don't fly by the seat of your pants. So it's more on a negative view, right? Or negative idea in that idiom. So
yeah.
anyway, we started also to discuss about common mistakes of situational interview. So what do you remember the difference between behavioral questions and situational questions? What's the difference between the two?
I remember they are similar, but I think a little different is the situation interview. They want to see your it's called reflection or how do you
Mm-hmm.
respond the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about to the behavioral questions?
Mm, I forget it.
Actually, the meaning that you said is behavioral questions.
Yeah,
So they are going to give you a situation and they're going to check on how you're going to react or what you're going to do in that situation,
yeah.
right? But in um,
In behavior question.
mhm, okay, but in behavioral question,
Yeah.
um, or I mean situational interview questions, it's more of like the experience that you had in
Oh,
the
I
past,
know. It's
right? You
like a
remember?
okay. I remember. So sorry. The behavior question is like he want you to share your previous experience, how to resolve problem. But the situation, uh, the situation is called interview. Is like maybe this case you never suffer, you never engage it, but you still need to find some way to handle it, and they want to see your reaction in the scenario. Am I correct?
Hmm. You interchange it.
Interchange.
So
Yeah,
you interchange the meaning. So when we say situational interview questions, in some way they are similar with behavioral questions, but instead of asking for your past experience, when we say, yeah, situational interview questions is more like of how you handle yourself in the situation given to you.
yeah,
So yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, sorry. So the situational is about situations that they are gonna give you. Maybe they just make it up, right? Or they just make up a situation, and they're going to check on how would you react or on what you're going to do,
hmm.
right? But in behavioral questions, is more like of you have to tell a story of your past experience.
Yeah. I think it's like you talk more about your past experience. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So right now we're going to focus with situational interview questions. So again, that would be situations that will be given to you, and they're going to check on how you would react or on what you're going to do in a certain situation. Okay?
Okay.
So we started to check on the objective before. So let's have here using the STAR technique. Do you remember this?
STAR.
Yes. So what do we mean by S?
Situation, task, action, result.
Correct. Yeah, that was situation, task, action, and result technique. So let's review. What was the situation? Please read.
Okay. Before launching into what you did, take the time to describe the situation, include the kind of company, what was at stake, and what the process was.
Process.
Oh, sorry, process was.
Okay. So, of course, by the word itself, situation, you have to take time describing the situation. So we learned about that before. So it's just the same, saying the situation, kind of company, and what was the problem, as well as what was or what happened in that kind of situation. So next, what went wrong? So you describe what went wrong and how it happened. Was it something avoidable, or was it unexpected crisis?
Mm,
So yeah, question.
let me check. Let me check.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. I understand the meaning. Okay.
Okay, so this is more like of the task given to you, or more likely still describing about the situation, right? On what was something wrong. And when you say crisis, it is like same thing with trouble or danger.
Yeah,
Okay, next, what action did you take? So highlight what you accomplished and how it helped the overall project. Of course, you have to make sure that you stand out, right? Your answer must end in a positive view. So you highlight what you've finished or what you've accomplished, okay, in your
yeah,
answer.
yeah,
So we have common situational interview practice before. Behavioral interview practice before. So same thing here. We will have some examples, okay?
yeah.
So please read our scenario.
Okay. You are working on a project with a tight deadline, but you find later you are unable to complete your session because your coworkers and your supervisor are unavailable to answer a few key questions. How do you deal with the situation?
Okay. So the meaning of our situation is that you had a tight deadline. So maybe you're only given few days to finish a task, right?
Yeah,
So you cannot finish your task because your teammate or your boss are not there to answer for your questions. Maybe you're confused with something. So what are you going to do in that situation? So we have the modal answer here.
yeah,
So this is tough one. The first thing I would do really is sit back for a moment and assess the situation. I would look at the project overall and see if there was a way for me to perhaps redirect my focus onto other areas I could work on by myself without their assistance and postpone the parts I need to help on until they're again available. If that isn't possibly or possibility, then I would make sure to exhaust every avenue I have at my disposal to try get in contact with them. Okay, so this is our first paragraph in the person's answer. So this is describing on what the situation is all about, right?
yeah.
What is she going to do first thing? Okay, how do you understand on what the person is going to do in this paragraph?
Uh, okay. I think he declared he couldn't. Uh, um, he couldn't handle his schedule well because he declared he don't need his manager's assistance, and he can postpone the pass he needed on until they were again available. I think it's very important because he couldn't, doesn't mean he couldn't find a resource or find a helper by himself. He don't need a mentor. He don't need a mentor or his manager to take him.
That's right. So, what it means here is that she just need to work on the things that she can do, but she can postpone. When I say postpone, stop first the parts that um, she needs help,
Yeah.
right? Until the boss or the co-workers are available. Okay, so that's the first paragraph. So next, please read the next.
Okay. I actually ran into a similar situation on a project a few years ago, where I needed to get some specific answers to a problem before I was able to move forward to the next step. Unfortunately, my coworker who had the answer was in an area where I was unable to reach him in time. I managed to continue working on sessions that didn't require his input, and by the time I was done with those, he was back in range and able to answer my questions.
Okay, so the boss becomes available. So here it is still okay to give your past experience for as long as it is related to the exact situation given to you. Okay?
Yeah,
So the person tries to compare on the exact or the similar situation on a project few years ago that happened to him or her. And it was like a comparison that it was the same thing and on what she did, right?
yeah,
So not only did we make our deadline, but by getting the other sections done first, we were able to focus all our attention on the final segment and really bring it together in a way that exceeded our clients' expectations. It was real win. Staying calm and focused and making sure I was doing everything within my power to make the project a success gave me the ability to figure out how to work around the situation successfully. So this is more like of the result on what she did, isn't it?
yes.
Okay, so everyone was able to go or to focus on their final segment. So do you think it was successful that they finished the project?
Yeah, I think it's successful. I think according to the article, he he know how to because his college don't know some problem or don't know how to handle the problem, but he couldn't. I think it's like teach him, and later and change. He declared he changed his college's input, and then later he couldn't get the correct answer from his college. Am I correct?
Can you repeat the last part? He
Okay.
cannot get the.
Okay. I think he declared he teach his college because his coworker
Uh
could
huh.
not have the answer was in the area.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Yeah, so he tried to change his I think it's maybe his instruction or his input. Later his
Mm-hmm.
coworker now or respond the correct answer for him.
Yeah. So the at first the coworker was not in the area to answer her questions. So what she did was to just do the part that she can do until such time that she's done with those parts and her coworker was already back in range. When you say back in range, already available to answer her
Oh,
questions.
back in range is available.
Yeah, back in range, which
I have a
means
question. But
uh-huh.
was in the area that mean he because I'm not sure the word was in the area. Will you mind repeat later for me? I guess it's like he don't
Okay.
know he don't know how to he could not answer the correct he could not give our correct answer because
Okay,
he
so
is not
here
familiar. Yeah,
Uh-huh. So the meaning of here, who had the answer was in an air. Okay, unfortunately, my coworker who had the answers was in an area where I wasn't able to reach him in time. So which means he might not be in the office. Why he can't talk with him or he can't contact him. Was not in the area is not in the place where he can be reached.
Oh,
Not yeah,
oh,
it does
okay.
not mean that he cannot answer because at the end here he answered it when he was back in range. Back in range means back in the office or back in the area.
Okay, I misunderstanding.
Yeah,
I think I guess the was in the area is mean he are not familiar with this dominology, but I think it's like he really he are really not in the office. Just like
not in the office. Yeah,
yeah.
area. So it can be the company in the company or at the office or in the place where they usually work. So
Okay.
at first the person was not cannot be reached in the area or in the specific location until such time that he was back in range. So it means he was in the office already. And
Yeah.
that was the time that he was able to answer the questions.
Okay.
Okay, you get it?
Yeah, I got this. Thanks.
All right, so the result was good because they had done it successfully and they even exceeded the client's expectations. So even if they were having a tight deadline, right?
Yeah.
So you already answered here below with the same question. Could you please read your answer?
Oh, yeah, but my answer is similar. Okay. This
Okay,
is the
sure. It's okay.
top one. The first thing I will check out where does the requirement come from. Find the original escalator couldn't know first-hand information. The message couldn't change meaning by passing through many people. Three liars makes a tiger. I
Mhm.
actually ran into a similar situation on a project a few years ago, where I needed to get some specific answer to a problem before I was able to move forward to the next step. Unfortunately, my coworker who had the answer was in an area where I was unable to reach him in time. I found we don't have general consensus on the project, so I took him to find our management to make sure of our requirement and the purpose. Finally,
Purposes.
ah, will you mind repeat that again?
Sure. Purposes.
Oh, purposes. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Purposes. Finally, we get the same concepts. I also learned a lesson from my college. We shouldn't direct to work if the requirements are ambiguous. List and clear our requirements could help us work smoothly.
Okay, so this is a nice answer, but we just okay. So here, so it took him to find a manager, make our requirements and purposes. So at the end, what happened? Did you find out where the requirements came from? First-hand information?
Yeah, because we find our management to
Mm.
check his requirement because sometimes if the message passing through too many people, the message will maybe little change.
I see. Okay. So that's right. It's bad to work if information are being passed by one person to the other and then another person to the other until it reaches you,
Yeah.
isn't it? Okay. So nice answer, Pinkus. So your sentences are also right. So I think we don't have to change on your answer. Okay. So just practice more on your reading if you have time. Okay.
Okay.
So that you would know how to deliver them in a natural way, like you're just telling a story. Okay, but very good in your sentence construction. So is the first example common situational practice is clear?
Uh, yes, but I still have one question. Will you mind ask her the
Okay.
question? Okay.
Okay.
The question is, in this paragraph, I use the final sentence. I use the list and clear our requirement. I'm not sure if I use clear. layer is correct or not.
Okay, list and clear our requirements is okay. Do you mean that you have to make sure everything is correct? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah,
what you mean
yeah,
by
yeah,
clear?
yeah. Because sometimes when we check if we understand
Uh-huh.
if we want to ask somebody to want to ask somebody he know the paragraph, maybe we will say it's clear. So I think maybe I
Mm.
can use clear here.
Yeah, so using clear in that sentence is fine.
Okay.
So list and clear our requirements, or we can also say that list and clear requirements. Okay, that's it. So
Okay.
no need for R here to make a better sentence. So list and clear requirements could help us work smoothly. So we just use clear here to describe requirements, to have clear requirements.
Okay.
Okay, so that would be fine. So that word is fine in the sentence.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, any more question?
No, it's clear. Thanks.
All right, so let's try another one here below. You've been assigned a major project and are halfway through when you realize that you've made a mistake all that requires you to go back to the beginning to fix it. How do you handle that while you're still trying to make your deadline? Okay, this is quite hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're already in the halfway or 50% of finishing the project, but you realize that you made a mistake, and it it needs for you to go back to the beginning to fix the mistake. So it means that you have to take time again, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you do if that happened to you, and you also have a deadline? So the answer we have here is the first thing I would do is stop whatever I'm doing on the project and really investigate the mistake. It is small enough that I can correct it without losing time. If so, I make sure that I rectify the situation immediately and move forward. Okay, so what will the person do?
Okay. He decided to stop
Uh,
his task because he want to investigate the mistake.
yeah.
And if he reestimate his schedule, if he couldn't finish it, maybe he will rectify the situation immediately.
Mhm. Correct. So of course you have to stop first doing something. You cannot just continue
Yeah,
because if
because
you keep
I've already wrong.
right. So if you continue, you might be losing more time because you will be starting from the beginning again,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So next, please read the second paragraph.
Okay. If it's a mistake that requires a full reworking of the problem and the solution is going to force me to come close or even miss my deadline, I would make sure to immediately inform my supervisor and let them know what is going on. Ide- uh, ide-
Ideally.
ideally, it
Mhm.
would be a situation where I could adjust my work according and if needed
Accordingly.
accordingly. Yeah,
Mhm.
and if needed, put in the extra time to make the deadline without com- compromising the rest
Mhm.
of the project.
Okay, so thank you. So here, the person decided to tell the supervisor, of course, because you have a deadline. So um, the person decided to adjust the work accordingly, and if needed, so only if needed, put an extra time to make the deadline, okay, without compromising the rest of the project. So still, he is going to focus on continuing and correcting or rectifying the project. So not stopping it.
Yeah,
Like he will not give up, right?
yeah.
Okay. So third paragraph,
Wait a
like
minute.
the
Wait a
uh-huh.
minute. Because I think I use the blue color to
Okay.
yeah, because I think the grammar a little strange because
Mm-hmm.
after the accordingly he used the and, but if you use and, I remember you need to add some
Mm-hmm.
sentence here, but he just
Mm.
he added a let me check the word period
Comma.
comma. Yeah, he added a comma and added if. I feel strangely. I think maybe there are original sentences here, but maybe the cut or wipe his disappear.
Okay, so actually that is so right. That's still correct. This sentence means that the person could adjust the work accordingly and put in extra time, or I could adjust the work accordingly and if needed, only if needed. So you can say if needed because this is just like alternative, only if you need it. Okay,
So
so
yeah,
that's okay. So this is correct.
so we don't need to review the end because I still feel end.
No, no, not we don't remove the end because the situation is we can do both. So work
Oh,
accordingly and put in extra time,
oh,
or
I know.
could
Okay,
adjust the work accordingly, or not putting extra time. That's why we have if needed.
oh, okay.
Okay. So for
Because
example,
yeah,
my friend, okay, let's say I feel sick today.
yeah,
I already like drink medicine, and if needed, I will go to the doctor tomorrow.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
and
like
if
another
needed,
option if
yeah.
needed.
Yes,
Yeah.
I learned a new grammar because I never
Yeah.
used the and in my previous course I never used the and use this way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right, right.
thanks.
So that would be all right. So if you make other sentence soon, so you can use this one already, okay? So if you want to add something that is alternative, you can do or you can't do. So that's why and if needed is added, okay?
Okay. Will you mind
All
type the
right.
word alternative for me because I'm not sure word.
Okay, so that's spelled as here.
Okay, thanks.
Alternative.
Oh, I know. Okay, alternative. Okay,
Okay, from the word alternate. So it can be used or not.
yeah.
Okay, so that's the word. Okay. So any question or any more question?
No. The second paragraph is clear. Thanks.
Okay. So please read the third one for the result.
Sure. If the mistake is a result of my work, as painful as it might be, I have to come clean. If nothing else, it can provide a learning opportunity for any other people I might be working with who are in a similar situation or dealing with similar scenarios. I was
Mm.
actually working one of my first job just out of college and run into a situation just like this.
Okay. So the person learned something, right? That even if it's painful, painful because he has to work it again, right, from
Yeah,
the beginning.
yeah,
So he needs to spend more time again and more effort to finish it on time because he don't want to extend the time. He don't want to compromise the deadline, right?
yeah,
So that's why it's painful. So I have to come clean. So if nothing else, then provide a learning opportunity for any other people. So whatever happens to the person, to the project, then it could be a learning. Like you learn from your experience. So that's the meaning of it,
yeah.
right? If you experience like that, of course you have to learn from it. So if it happens again, then you know what to do already, right?
Yeah, I think, but I think even though he is not a good experience, but it can help him grow up. So I think it's
Uh
okay
huh.
because no
Correct.
one could never make a mistake. I think it's too terrible. I think it's too difficult because I usually make a mistake.
Right. All of us makes mistake. So we cannot avoid that. So anyway, that's the answer for our number two question. So you can answer the student's answer below if you have time, Pincus, so we could check it in our next meeting. Okay?
Sure, I will finish it before next course.
All right. So for now, we are going to end in this part, Pincus, because we don't have much time. Do you have any questions so far?
Oh, his career, thanks.
Okay. So if you have pending questions, you could just send me a message through Skype or you can ask it in our next meeting. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Pincus. Have a great night to you.
Have a good night too, Stephen. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.